Everything I've read about the second shooter shows that he would not make a good asset. When the CIA vets an individual to be an asset, they look for very specific things and very specific traits. And one of those traits is mental stability. They also look for people who are predictable and consistent over time because, unlike the movies would have you believe, true CIA officers and true CIA assets are so effective because they are secret. They're never discovered. They're never found. Right? True CIA officers get in, get the information, and get out without anyone ever knowing they were there. It's not like James Bond, right? So when I saw the second shooter and I see his history of inconsistency and his travel to and from Ukraine and his the fact that he literally just seems to parrot the party line of whatever's happening right now in the Democratic Party, it shows that that is not a person of mental stability, of consistency, of reliability that it would take to carry the kind of pressure and responsibility of being an asset. And I would not anticipate that CIA would come within 10 miles of an individual like that because they know that when he is compromised, when he does something stupid, like tries to shoot a president or former president on a golf course, that eventually that would come back to them. It's a term we call blowback. And the blowback on an asset like that would be so great, it simply doesn't make sense that CIA would spend any time or effort investing in him.
There's a clip from Leon Panetta, who spoke at the DNC, which I want to play and get your reaction to.
Our warriors need a tough, cool-headed commander-in-chief to defend our democracy from tyrants and terrorists. We need Kamala Harris behind the resolute desk.
Do we, Andrew? Or is Donald Trump in his very uniquely kind of blunt, bombastic, put his arm around the dictators, but also warn them style, which led to America not going to war with anyone in the 4 years that he ran the country, which was against all expectations. You know, I've often thought with Trump that he had a kind of weird but quite effective strategy on the foreign stage, whether it be Kim Jong-un or Vladimir Putin or President Xi or whatever it was, or taking on NATO and making them pay their dues, the NATO countries. You know, his kind of blunt style and the bromance style was oddly effective. So when you hear the former boss of the CIA, Leon Panetta, say that it has to be Kamala Harris because she's cool, calm, and collected, do you agree with that?
I do not agree with Leon Panetta, and I'll tell you one very important thing to understand about the former boss of CIA. The head of CIA is an appointed position by the president. So when Panetta was the president or was the head of CIA, you have to look at who was the president who appointed him, right? They were very much part of a political umbrella that has to foster and grow them up. Plus, Leon Panetta is now vying for a position in the cabinet under a Harris administration, right? So you have to take all of that as a completely biased point of view, sitting on a biased stage, preaching to a biased audience, a message that was pre-canned, pre-approved, and pre-written specifically to get a reaction from the voting base of the Democratic Party.
Freedom! So fresh, son. Freedom!